Hello again, welcome to the game that tests your history knowledge and your geography knowledge. This is TimeGuessr. We'll be given a series of photos like this one. For each one we have to say where in the world was it taken, but also when in history was it taken, anywhere from 1900 to the present day. Now, of course, there are more points the closer you are on the map and the closer you are on the timeline. I usually aim for about 2/3 or 3/4, so we'll see how we get on today. And obviously feel free to leave your guesses in the comments as well and see how you get on. Now, clearly, this got to say Tennessee State Prison, hasn't it? So the location should be relatively easy. As for the year, these look like relatively... it's not going to be from the 1900s, is it? It's black and white, which makes me think it's old, but it's going to be 60s rather than 1900s, isn't it? It's not going to be 120 years old, it's going to be 60, more likely. But the trouble is, sometimes they have these black and white ones and it's very deceptive. So I'm actually going to hedge my bets a little bit. We'll go 70 rather than the 60s. Now, where is Tennessee? Here we go. I don't know where Tennessee State Prison is, and it's a pretty wide state. That's a bit annoying. I'm going to assume it's in Nashville. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to find it. I think if I'm in the right city, that's probably good enough for me. Let's just plonk it there and hope that it's not in Memphis. It is in Nashville. It was Sonny James. Never heard of him. I might have recognised him if it was Johnny Cash, but clearly it wasn't. But it was in the 70s, so I'm glad I went 70 rather than the 60s. That's 82%. That's not an awful start. This one might be a bit trickier, another black and white one, and this one looks notably older than the previous one. Now this language, it's going to be European somewhere. I'm just trying to work out if it's German/Czech, something like that, or if it's going to be Scandinavian. That AE is interesting. What languages have that letter? I don't know. But I would lean more Scandinavian. Pröver. Outed Frisk. It could be Germany, but I'm leaning towards somewhere like Norway at the moment. What does that say? Landemerkerhus. Landmark House, something like that. That does sound German, that's the problem. But this O has got to be Scandinavian, hasn't it? I don't think they have that in Czech or German, I could be wrong. Let's work out the year first. What does that say? Wiener Hager, maybe? Doesn't help me either. They've got cars. But is that also a horse-drawn carriage? Wow. The quality of the photo isn't awful. It's not like fraying at the corners or anything, so even though it looks super old, I don't think it's going to be pre-World War One. But the question is it pre-World War Two? I think I might have to go pre-World War Two, even though it definitely could be in the 50s. Let's just try 36. And we'll try... Do we want to try Copenhagen? Yeah, let's try Copenhagen. I'll cut my losses a little bit, just in case it turns out to be mainland Europe rather than Scandinavia. Because if it's Scandinavia, it's going to be in this circle, probably. Whereas if I don't want to go too far north in case it's somewhere a bit further south. Oh, it was 23, but I was in the right city, so it was between the wars. I'm a bit unlucky not to get more than 2,000 points for that, I think. But my guesswork on the location was on point. What's going on here? Petta, India. Okay, so clearly we're going somewhere in India. Laluji. This is prevention of cruelty to animals. That's not what PETA stands for, but you know what I mean. How old do I think this is? I've got absolutely no idea. It's not black and white. It's clearly a lot more recent than the others. I can't see if they're wearing a watch. Can't see. He's wearing a watch. It doesn't help. None of them's got a phone out. If I had a phone or a camera, this would help a lot. Those cars look more modern than the ones from the 60s. I think I'm going somewhere between 1980 and 2020. I think I'm leaning more towards 2020, but I mean it really could be a lot earlier, but I think I'll go 20... Oh, let's go 2013 since that's where it landed. I don't know where in India to go for. Delhi or Mumbai, what do we reckon? Delhi's the capital, but I have been to Delhi. Didn't look anything like this, but I mean that doesn't mean anything, does it? It could be anywhere. I'm going to go Mumbai. Let's zoom in just to make sure that I'm not actually in the water. I'm not. Let's go a little bit over here. Oh, it was in Delhi. That's frustrating. It was 2008, so it was between 80 and 2020, and I was right, but it was closer to 2020. So again, not amazing, but not a complete disaster. That's been the story of today so far. We're sure to have a disaster soon. Unionist clubs marching past City Hall, and we've got Union Jacks. Now, Unionists, I feel like my first instinct is this is going to be in Ireland rather than in England. Oh, Scottish Amicable something assurance, Life Assurance Society. Interesting. Boyd's Medical Hall. I mean, I still think it might be Ireland, though. That's the problem here. I don't know if this word Scottish is a red herring. Insurance, patriotic, something. That could say Belfast Bank. In fact, I think it does. So I think I'm going to ignore the word Scottish and go for Belfast rather than ignoring the word Belfast and going in Scotland. Now, how old do we think this is? There's a load of people. There's trams or trolley buses, perhaps. I mean, again, it's pretty old. Does it look as old as the previous one that was 1923? Maybe it does. And in bowler hats. I mean, they're wearing really old clothes. I went 1936 on the previous one that was 1923. Let's go 1936 again. Why not? And we are going to go Belfast. We won't be too far off, even if it is in Scotland, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be in Belfast. Let's go there. Oh, it's 1912. It was even earlier than the previous one. I'm really bad at anything before 1960, which is half of the time zone that they give you. Oh, I got 0 points for the year. Oh dear. At least I rescued it. We almost got half points for the question as a whole. Oh gosh, this one's even earlier, isn't it? I mean, actually, this one's going to be after 1912 probably, because there's bunch of cars, but it really looks older. To me, this looks older than the previous one. It must just be because of the quality of the photo, but or maybe it will actually turn out to be older, but I doubt it. There's just too many cars for it to be before 1912, I think. I mean, voyageur sans bagage. Apologies to any French people for my pronunciation. That's just travellers without baggage, isn't it? That's going to be a train station in some city, presumably Paris. So really the only question is, what year is this? Should we try and make it third time lucky? I think this looks older than the previous one, and the previous one was 1912, but I've been wrong about everything, so I'm tempted to go 1936 again just to make it a triumvirate. Surely they wouldn't have so many other old ones. This is a lady with her legs showing, so it can't be that early because they would have been too prudish in the 1900s or the 1910s. I'm going to go 1936 for a third time. Will it be third time lucky? Probably not. Let's find a train station in Paris. Which train station do we want to go for? Gare du Nord? Gare du Nord. Let's go on the corner, we'll go there. It was finally close to 1936. This one is newer than the two previous ones that were in 1912 and 1924. That's unbelievable to me, but I'm not complaining because finally I learned my lesson. I'm glad I didn't learn the wrong lesson from those previous ones. We were in the right city, we were pretty close. Oh, it was Gare de Lyon. That's very unlucky. I just got a 50-50 wrong because those are the two main ones in Paris. Either way, 8,300 for that. What's the final score? 35,000. So 70% basically. I said I was aiming for 2/3 to 3/4, and we were right in the middle of that boundary. So nothing spectacular today. I didn't get above 9,000 on any of them, but I think my lowest was just under 5,000. So no disasters, nothing spectacular. So a solid effort. How did you get on with these ones? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.